Uh, I may or may not put this up, but sometimes I do things or I experience things that are what we call reflective, sort of a self examination of where we're at, right? Um, and because I had so much fun working in, I realized how these words work. Okay, when it comes to sound and light burn patterns. So at the center point of a sphere is in perfect balance with all the other spheres that are communicating with each other, which would be all your stars. So you know how to tune into all the stars. So the center point of every star is in perfect balance so that they're all running a clear channel. That means all the gates are open. It means they can read your line of communication. That antenna is picking up the signal. Hey, I can translate that. It's not a bunch of noise. Carrying a bunch of distortions. What the fuck is that? Man, tune that shit in, right? And that's really what it is. It's a dial phone, just like a dial phone, right? PHONE, pH1, B a pH1. The electrical potential, right, of a fire hydrant. Hydrologic designs, right? Water world designs, water world systems. So you look at all the arteries and veins in your physical body and then look at all the ones on the planet when it comes to water worlds and the importance of water, right? The living spirit of living water with minerals, right? The charge capacity, the capacity of a capacitor on a motherboard to carry a charge, right? And then, of course, resistors so you don't burn the whole board up, right? Which is no different than what I was doing when I was thinking of Nathan earlier, because him and I were having sort of a really cool conversation because I was introducing him to the Emerald Covenant because he's on fire to learn. Yeah. That a boy, kiddo. Here's some resources, right? Learn the songs, learn the sound, and light burn patterns of music, musical spheres, the spirit in the sphere, right? We love to dance with music, right? We celebrate life with love and living spirit, the eternal spirit of fire, the eternal spirit of God's love that flows through us. And we share it with everyone else with no resistance because it's free. We're not holding it back. We're not holding on to electrons. And it's really that simple. So I would share with him, for example, well, think about it, okay? I used to be a fire captain. We used to do building inspections, right? And so when you go in there to inspect a building, right, it's got to be built to a certain standard so that what? The people that are going to occupy that building are not going to end up in a fire trap, right? Or if you will, a safe zone. Is this a safe place? How did they build this system? What kind of specifications went into this building? Right? We don't want to end up having to come back here, right, as a result of what we allowed to be put up. So those are called your fire codes. Codes of conduct on superconductors on a circuit board. Right? That's what they are, buildings. Batteries in a building. High-rise buildings. Big capacitors. Right? Think about the building that went down in 2001. Right? Suck all the energy out of that thing. Right? The suction cup, the suction. Right? Sucking energy out of things. Just like vacuum cleaners. Right? And the way vacuum cleaners work. Right? And so you have an administrative panel. So the first thing that happens when an alarm goes off in a building, for example, an idiot light goes off to let somebody know, hey, come on over and check this out. Something's going down. We need your attention, please. Okay, so the first panel that we go to when we go to that building is what's called a fire panel. Okay, because before that building was occupied, I can guarantee you, in the city of Los Angeles, it had to meet certain standards before that panel went in. Now, if the fire panel went in, that's called a supervisory panel, by the way. So that when the firefighter gets there, they can figure out what's going on that fast inside the building. Right? What went wrong? Everything's got a sensor. Now we're into antennas that sense things, sensing things that are wrong. So when you came out of your mama's womb, what was your antenna telling you? something's wrong. Somebody didn't, now we know that they didn't build something that works. So you can translate this with some of the later episodes that this guy, bless your heart, this guy from Iran, who loves California. And so now I believe they're associated with Epoch. When Epoch Times started coming out, where simply they just report on what's going on, you know. So I certainly supply some comments in there, okay, putting in a few links. This is what I know. You want to be an insider? You want the inside scoop? Remember, with reporters and journalists? Hey, what's the scoop? Birdie in the trees letting me know something over here that's going on. A fly on the wall. You know, inside a contained room that thinks it's all quiet and God can't hear you. Okay? I know. We see you, and they know how we do that. And that's called a speed factor, right? Right? It's you can think of it as the hunter being the hunted, or if you will, the observer. The ultimate observer is God, an eternal God, because everything was within all that light. So God is everywhere simultaneously. So it's not like God, an eternal God, doesn't know what's going on, because I can assure you that God does, because that's the God that informs me of knowing what's going on, because that's the highest state of awareness. Right? So in other words, they don't exist in a vacuum. Know what I mean? That's called no escape, like no escape from the fire. There isn't any crack that you can't keep that light out, no matter how sealed you think that place is. From a being that runs stealth code, which is undetectable. It's like the curve space, right? You've seen the old Western movies? Or hey, they're already waiting for you. Because they run at a slower rate of speed. That's why. Remember the old tortoise and the hare? So we cut them off at the pass. Because they're easily predictable. Okay? God is not predictable. And the reason for that is because they can't take a picture of it and run a quantum probability function.